Hi, it's important to get as accurate as possible information on the presence of allergens in the material supplied to us by you, our suppliers. In this video, you will find some tips on how to accurately complete the Nestlé MAD form. We would like to remind you that complete written instructions with detailed information are directly embedded into the Excel MAD form. How to prepare? 5 elements are required. 1. Your vendor information. 2. What are the allergens intentionally added to the material sold to Nestlé? 3. What are the potential direct allergen cross contacts present in the material sold to Nestlé? 4. What is the nature of the potential cross contacts? 5. What are the procedures in place to prevent or control the potential cross contacts? Once you have all information available, let's complete the major allergen declaration. The order in which you should fill in the form is 1 to 8 for each allergen, then continue with steps 9 to 11 until all blue color has disappeared. It is compulsory to fill in completely the MAD tab. Other tabs, for instance the additional USA allergen tab, are optional. If the material is sold to Nestlé Nutrition, it is mandatory to fill in completely all tabs from the MAD Excel template. Step 1. Please fill in your vendor information, cells B7 to B12, until all blue background color has disappeared. As shared with you by Nestlé Procurement, please do also input the Nestlé SAP information in cells H7 to H11. Step 2. Simply answer the question: does the material sold to Nestlé contain a major food allergen or an ingredient that is derived from a major food allergen? If the food contains the allergen or an ingredient that is derived from this allergen, simply click on Yes in MAD column 2. Here, an example with celery. And if the food does not contain the allergen or an ingredient that is derived from that allergen, click on No in MAD column 2, an example with barley. MAD question 2 does not consider the allergenicity or the allergen content of the food, it is just about informing its source. Local allergen labeling regulatory exemptions must not be considered. Typically, wheat maltodextrin is sourced from wheat, and so MAD column 2 must be ticked with yes, even if this food is exempted from labeling in some jurisdictions. Lactose is to be ticked with yes only if lactose is specifically added to the material sold to Nestlé. Finally, sulfites is ticked with yes when the sulfite contents, means naturally occurring and added sulfites, equals or is higher than 10 mg per kilogram in the material sold to Nestlé. Step 3. Indicate here any potential direct cross-contact from the shared production line, including potential cross-contacts from transportation, the fields, or your supplier's facilities. Examples of direct cross-contacts are allergens used on the shared production line, or allergens due to known crop rotation on the fields used to grow cereals present in the material sold to Nestlé, or allergens due to the use of the same transport truck that transports allergenic and non-allergenic materials. Please indicate potential direct cross-contacts even when these are finally under control. Basically, there are 4 different scenarios. Here, all examples are given with celery. Scenario 1. No intentionally added celery or product thereof and no celery cross-contact. Scenario 2. No intentionally added celery or product thereof, but a potential direct cross-contact due, for example, to the use of celery on the shared line. Scenario 3. Celery leaves are present in the material sold to Nestlé. MAD column 2 is ticked with yes. As celery leaves are not listed in Annex 1 of the MAD vendor instructions, column 3 of MAD is ticked with no, whether there is a potential direct cross-contact with celery or not. Finally, scenario 4, refined celery seed oil is present in the material sold to Nestlé. MAD column 2 is ticked with yes. As refined celery seed oil is listed in Annex 1 of the MAD vendor instructions, then in case of a potential direct cross-contact with celery, For example, with celery stem slices, then MAD column 3 is ticked with yes. Here the non-exhaustive list of foods listed in Annex 1 of the MAD vendor instructions. Step 4. Where yes is ticked in MAD column 3, indicate the nature of the allergenic material. Choose with first priority inhomogeneous cross-contact in the drop-down list every time there is a cross-contact in particulate or piece form. For example, a cross-contact with hazelnut pieces, cheese cookie pieces, etc. The same applies if there is both a potential inhomogeneous and homogeneous cross-contact. Indicate inhomogeneous cross-contact in the MAD form. Choose then homogeneous cross-contact when there is no particulate cross-contact but a homogeneous one, for example a cross-contact with peanut paste, liquid milk or wheat flour, and double-check that this food is not listed in the Annex 1 of the MAD vendor instructions. Finally, choose non-significant cross-contact if the potential allergen cross-contact ingredient is listed in MAD Annex 1 and it is the only cross-contact from this allergen source in the material supplied to Nestlé. A typical example would be a cross-contact with soy lecithin with no other cross-contact from soy. Step 5. Provide as far as possible numerical values for homogeneous allergen cross-contacts. Please pay specific attention to the following. Watch out the units. For most allergens, we require that data is provided in milligram food proteins per kilogram units. Protein values are available from the USDA Food Composition Database in case conversion is necessary. For gluten-containing cereals, the data is to be reported in milligram gluten per kilogram as usual. The same for sulfites, the reporting unit is milligram sulfites per kilogram. Do not use special signs like the less than or the more than signs. As an example, if the maximum content is less than 20 milligram proteins per kilogram, state 19.9 in MAD column 5. Finally, if no analytical data is available, for example, if no quantitative analytical method exists, and if the maximum allergen concentration cannot be evaluated as detailed in the MAD vendor instructions, type no in MAD column 5. Step 6. Choose the GFSI recognized certification program from the drop-down list. If you can't find it, choose Yes Other and specify the name of the program at step 11 in the comments box. If your vendor site is not part of a GFSI recognized certification program, choose No GFSI recognized certification program from the drop-down list. Step 7. When MAD column 7 appears with a blue background color, indicate if the allergen risk of the material supplied is under control through line cleaning, segregation, scheduling of production runs, etc. Then repeat steps 2 to 8 for each allergen until all blue background color has disappeared, then continue with steps 9 to 11. Step 9. Once sections 1 to 8 have been filled for each allergen and no blue background color remains in these sections, proceed with step 9. Whenever a potential cross-contact has been ticked with yes in MAD column 3, cell H50 indicates whether information regarding the factory's allergen control program policies and procedures must be shared. Some examples of information that is required: validated cleaning procedures, specific production line scheduling information, raw material segregation programs, confirmation that dedicated equipment or production areas are used, or other procedures such as filtration or grain sorting techniques. Step 10. Final sign-off. Please fill in the date and your contact details in cells B58 to B63 until all blue background color has disappeared. Step 11. Comments. When the material is sold to Nestlé Nutrition, each time a yes has been input in MAD column 3, indicate in the comments box the nature of the allergenic material that is potentially present due to cross-contact. For instance, celery seeds, soy lecithin, or barley malt. Otherwise, please use this section freely to indicate the name of the GFSI certification program if it was not listed in the drop-down list at section 6, the name and the limit of detection of the analytical method used to get quantitative data, any other information that you would like to share. Thank you for listening.